Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Bigfootbunkie. Today we're bringing you a inter-island flight from Maui out to Honolulu. Glad you're with us today. We got Vatsim running today out in to get to the airplane quickly. Had a cold and dark one today. I know I don't normally. But in the FsLabs A321Neo, the Pratt & Whitney version, newer aircraft to my. I have some experience flying the 321. Actually, all variants Airbus. So it should be pretty good. I did fly the Neo for a while. But it was not the Pratt & Whitney. Now, the FsLabs has some good points and bad points. I don't have a whole lot of flaws under my for it. Get passengers boarding with GS real fast. Kind of get this underway quickly. Inter-island stuff meant to be pretty short. I think we got 55 minutes gate to gate, and then less than that, I think it's 40 minutes over to Woohoo. The minimum time on the ground in Honolulu. Now, I'm used to the Phoenix integration with GSX, and honestly, I think it's a lot better than what FsLabs has done. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which the FsLabs to me is pretty new, so I might be drop a comment in the chat down there or comment section down below. You know how to get the FSX or the GSX integrated onto iPad or tablet a little bit better than what's going on. Now, for right now, it looks like I have to go up to the menu up here and select GSX to get it to come up on the tablet, which I'm not a huge fan of. But it is what it is. Power test. Power push. Good. Auto. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the DRAMs. When I flew the Airbus, it didn't have that. Let's see if I can get some. Get that up and going. I also don't like the fact that FsLabs starts everything with everything dimmed. I don't think I've ever gotten an airplane like that. It's just, I guess, the way they run it. Again, it is. Oh, but hey, we got passengers. Cool, I guess the flight attendants are on board. We do have a couple MELs today. So the windshield wiper is in op. Going back to live. I don't know why my sim has been doing that. There we go. That was the in-op wiper made me think of that. Got an in-op wiper and an IDG1 fault, so we'll have to go with the APU running the whole time. Now the FsLabs provides an MEL book that you can go through, and it's on the tablet, but it's super hard to read. And I don't want to print out the whole thing. I have the actual MEL book, but and I don't want to go through. So we're going to go with what it has. I'm going to have it on a different screen that you're not going to be able to see, which is. But we'll go ahead and go with that. A couple after things that we have to go through on the start procedure that are different, and I'll walk through those as I read them. Overall, the program's not bad. It flies pretty good. I think the Phoenix Airbus flies better, a little more authentic to how the one. This thing lands terribly, and either that or it's me. Yeah, I float the crud out of it every time, which is not always fun. Even on a heavy airplane, we end up floating pretty far down. Again, this gets into the, see what I'm doing now, zoom in. The FMGC, or the MCDU, and we'll go and load this up. With the Phoenix one, it does it automatically, and I haven't gotten this thing to link up with my SimBrief, which is not super convenient. Block fuel 9,000 pounds. I'm gonna put 12,000 on there. There's weather in the area, so it's pretty minimum fuel of what we're gonna have anyway. Payload. $239 passengers, so that's pretty heavy. Two pilots, 4 flight attendants. Both full. Inner island stuff, I think, go pretty heavy. Cargo baggage is 7,000 pounds. Gives us a fuel weight of 49. Saying quite a bit. Oh, payload 50,000. Gotta do some math. Why I like the Phoenix, it does all the fun parts. Pretty heavy car. What's this about where cargo through? Move that to 4, 5. We'll go in. We'll have a estimated yield fuel weight of 161, 64. Unfortunately, the where I was getting at with the FsLabs not linking up with my brief, my SimBrief is I can't do an init request. It comes in, request, gonna do it. No answer to request. That's what I get every time. So I have to throw it in there manually every time. Kind of annoying. So PHOG to PHNL, and then we're gonna go HAL 1045. cost index running in at 10. I'd rather 30 off the flight plan. And we're going over at 12,000 feet, which is pretty common for stuff that low. But for that short, zero fuel weight of 160, 1, 2, and 5 is your block fuel of 12,000 pounds. What I put on there. 0. That's done. Flight plan gonna go off of runway 2, and it's gonna be the Maui 5 to Maui. Correct lanai, LN1I. Equals 5 into Lulu, and on 4 right, the ILS. 5 from Lanai. So that's a quick rundown of how throw a manual flight plan in there real fast. Pre-flight. Now, get into runway analysis. Landing flaps 1 with an assumed temperature of 44. And we got numbers of 138, 1, and 149. I'm getting these numbers directly off the SimBrief. I'll run a takeoff data on the FsLabs iPad shortly after pushback, which is what you'd get the final for. Sounds like the ding, so we're done boarding. Get that set to go a little bit slower. H out in Honolulu, sorry, in Maui, from VATSIM. ADIS information Gulf 1854 is 330 at 6. 10 statute miles. You at 5,000, 23 and 21. And we got 2991. 2991. 991, 2991. The Maui 5. Archer. Expecting top altitude as per instructions. I'm on VATSIM right now, so we'll get that going also. Hey, Supermarket, how are you? Get the VATSIM going real fast. We'll get that dialed in and start heading out that way. Pilot up and running. Got Honolulu approach, Honolulu Center, HCF on 126.5. Go DRAMs 126.5, and we are live on that one. I'm pretty new to running this DRAMs. I've never actually run a every Airbus I've ever flown has been the old style one. All right, we're boarded up. We'll go to the before start check. Recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and AML on board reviewed, accepted for aircraft 230 Hotel Alpha. Fuel quantity, we got 12 on board. We got 12 required. Takeoff performance. Performance numbers down below, and we have, I'll check this against my SimBrief numbers. We got 138, 145, 149 with a flex of 44. Every Airbus is the same except yeah, that's pretty true. I I've I've flown the 321Neo, but I flew the Leap 1 Alpha, and we didn't have the DRAMs. We had the old style. It's just getting used to how that new radio panel works, and kind of trying to do that in the sim. I'm also running the old checklist, which I think which is it should work for anything you do in flight sim. Oxygen is checked. Looks like we got 1760. Seatbelt sign, I'll go ahead and throw that on. And go to auto. Straight on, actually. Get the APU up and running. Ecam, checked. Park and brake, on and checked, and I'm checking that down on the center panel. And you're also checking the your PSIs. MCDU, I think I'm pretty much done here. NetRef. We've did something called backwards Z double D. There you go, flight plan, RadNav program, perf, init, then data twice. That is set. Altimeters, I have 2991 as per ATIS here in Maui. PEDs are off, departure briefing. It'll be off of runway 2, runway 1, flaps 1, flex takeoff. Get a clearance here in a second. No, I didn't hear about the burnt down A220. What happened there? I don't have any experience with the A220s at all. I've never even been inside one. HCCF Hawaiian 1045 IFR to Honolulu. You have information.
Hawaiian 1045 HS Center, did you receive the modified PDC I sent you, or did you not get that?
I'll go ahead and check that. I'm new to the PDCs. I'm used to doing it in voice. Let me check one second.
Yeah, you should have got it as a pop-up tab, either on the X-Pilot or V-Pilot, whichever one you're using. If you didn't get it, just let me know.
No, I got it. I have that clearance. Thank you, and we'll do. What I've got to tell you, FOC code 1031 as filed.
Yeah, just 1045. Just let me know when you are ready to push and start for departure.
We'll let you know, HCF. Hawaiian 1045.
Okay.
All right, we got a clearance. So we were squawking 1031. Go down here, 0, 3, 1, and we'll set that. Go to standby. Turn that on. Auto, PARA, good. Closed. We'll go ahead and close the front door. Did they pull the jet bridge? Not pulled the bridge yet. Almost ready to go. Prepare for pushback and departure. For the Maui 5, do be a right turn to 10. Or 010, 3500 back out to Maui, and then I. Why did I start YouTube? Well, I enjoy, making a fool of myself by not starting the APU. in front of everybody who's watching, which is honestly just you right now. But I started my YouTube channel just because it sounded like something fun to do. I get home off of trips or whatever I'm doing. My son's big into flight sims and aviation in general. And I figured, why not? It'd be fun. I'm doing it anyway. Might as well share it with other people. I have some bit of knowledge of after 20 years of work, it'd be neat to share experiences and knowledge with people.
Locking gear.
See if I screwed that up completely. Default airport and Microsoft Flight Simulator are the worst. Yeah, I agree with you. I think every one I do on any of my flights are all aftermarket. They're all add-on aircraft that I've purchased throughout the years. I can't stand flying to the normal flight sim airports. Yeah, it looks like I didn't screw it up too bad. HCF Hawaiian 1045, push and start.
Hawaiian 1045, pushback to Alpha is approved, nose to the south.
Pushback on Alpha, nose south, Hawaiian.
And Hawaiian 1045, just a sec, you did say you had ATIS Gulf, correct?
Yeah, I do have Gulf, Hawaiian 1045.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever flown to that. Or what's the airport code for Vanillas? I'm not. Oh, vanilla airports. That's yeah, I don't do any of them. Nose the south. So I gotta go.
Release parking brakes, please.
We will go. Get some pumps on. Beacon on. You bleed. And parking brakes off. We're clear to push.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at
Now, it's
will.
kind of one of the reasons I don't do any of the normal vanilla airports is because I can't stand going somewhere, especially places I've been. Oh, that's an actual airport, EYV. I don't know where that is. But all the airports I do, like this is Northern Sky, does Maui. And Maui's one of the airports that I've done a bunch in real world, so it's nice doing the flight to a place that I've done 1,000 times and seeing what's supposed to be there. The colors are off, and I was in Maui maybe a month ago at this
And Hawaiian
terminal.
1045, ATIS Hotel just became Karnakahalui. Still showing the winds calm, altimeter's 2990.
2990, Hawaiian 1045. The airport here in Maui, in real world, has changed quite a bit, but I don't see a whole lot of people itching to redo it. On the outside, it looks pretty much the same. They added some new fascia over by these gates where those generic 717s are. Back to Alpha, we got one good start, and go ahead and start 2. into tech log for the FsLabs, and we have the IDG deactivated, and that's per MEL 24-2201
Southwest
alpha.
1328, contact HCF Center on 118.45.
So we can go into
118.45 East Southwest 1328.
2422.
Parking brakes.
Park brake set, clear disconnect.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
I have to sit here for a minute. Operating
Cockpit
complete
to ground.
procedure.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
2422. We have to stay. I'm guessing, I don't know why it gave me this, but if we actually had that real world, that IDG failure, this aircraft would not be going ETOPS. So during cockpit prep, galley, pull the circuit breaker. We already did that.
Unlocking gear.
Before engine start, the IDG associated and inoperative with the main generator. 1 and 2 has been disconnected. Check the disconnect message displayed on the ICAST display. Which already went on. There it is. Disconnected their IDG. And the electric IDG disconnected. That is associated. We'll clear that message. After the engine start, check that the electrical bus power has power. APU master switch on, which we have. APU gen push on gens 1 and 2 will come off. We'll make sure that the APU is providing power to all buses, which it has. On the electric synoptic page, check that all the AC buses have power. We will wave him off, so we'll go taxi on and taxi off. Hey, have a good day. We'll see you in a couple hours when I come back. So, gen push button operative is, we'll go that back to on. So because the left side is inop, we'll go right side only for gen 2. That comes back. And APU gen push button off. And we're checking to make sure that gen 2 has taken all of the power. It has. Get the APU gen back on, and we're going to run that for the whole flight. I want to say off the top of my head the APU is 600 pounds an hour on the Airbus. I may have that mixed up, so we added some extra fuel for that. That was not included in SimBriefs, so we can actually turn the APU bleed off. We'll keep the APU running. No, I'm not on the 330. In fact, I haven't been on the Airbus fleet for almost 6 years now. I currently fly the 777, and I love it, but I do really like the Airbus fleet. I like how it flies, and this is my first live stream with the FsLabs A321, and so far it's okay. Go APU off, and then I think we had flaps 1, what we had in takeoff data, but yeah, flaps 1 for a short takeoff, like for a short flight like this, flaps 1. Oh, let me go to takeoff data. Yeah, it doesn't have the tail strike thing, and I think that might be because Hawaiian Islands only has the 321. The fleet that I had, we flew the 19, 20, and 21, and all of our 321s had that caution tail strike underneath the registration. Yeah, you're right. I honestly had not noticed that prior to you saying that. Thrust. Flex toga. Nice. Off. On. optimal. If it'll calculate it. No, doesn't want to do it. I've had really bad luck with almost everything about this add-on. Let's see. App start engine NIS is off. Status is checked. That engine IDG1 disconnected. That is associated. I'm going to clear that. Go ahead. Arm that. That on.
Just 4006 heavy HSS center. Hello, reset the transponder.
That is checked. Rudder
If you're
trim
not started,
is
it's
zeroed. Doing that on my
7403.
pad down here. I have not flown the 787. I have quite a bit of time in the cockpit of the 787. I commuted on that for a couple years. So I'm very familiar with it, and it's very close to the 777. The 777 is just older technology. The 787 is much nicer inside, much cleaner. The additional screens and how it runs, the HUD would be nice.
Just a 4006 heavy rudder contact, approximately
Alright, we'll go take
25
off
miles
config.
from Fapis. Just continue
Is
inbound at this
okay.
point.
In-op systems,
just
Cat
checking
3
your
Dual
flight
and
plan.
Cat
Go ahead and
Cat 3
put in
Dual
your
and
flight
Gen 1.
computer
That is
after the
associated.
Lanai VOR,
And with the
you'll be on
wiper, I did
Julie
check that
5
MEL
arrival.
that says
The
we
one
can't
that
do
you
anything
filed
less
is when
than
we
a
land to the west, and
Cat 1
Honolulu
approach.
is landing to the east. So
Honolulu's
after
weather
Lanai will be the Julie 5.
pretty good. We shouldn't need that anyway. So it's everything that we have that's broken on the airplane, which stuff broken on the airplane is common, is perfectly good for what we're doing today. And our check's complete. HCF Hawaiian 1045 taxi.
Hawaiian 1045, runway 2, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
Via Alpha Charlie and 1045. Go to taxi. Fuel on board. Rest weight of 173. Not a fan of how this aircraft taxis. Engines are way too overpowered. In real world, you know, at 170,000 pounds, this aircraft would not be moving. It is. For takeoff, flaps 1 planned, 1 indicated. Takeoff dead and speeds. We got 138, 145, 149, flexing 44. Thrust pump is off. Weight is closed out at 173 even. Stab trim. And that's the one thing with closeouts that it's hard to get on the needed. All right, here we go. We'll change it to config 3. We'll go flaps 3, stab trim 2.1 up. Flex 64 is the new number. And we got 130, 130, 131. All right, 130, 130, 131, 64, flaps 3. Dab trim is set 2.1. Electricals are checked. Go pull left. Pull right. Up. Pull down. Neutral. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this EFB at all. It's not organized well. It doesn't operate well. I really want to like this Flight Sim Lab 321, but as of now, like I can't wait for the Phoenix Neos to come out. All right, ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue. Or takeoff checks complete. HCF 101, 1045, runway 2, ready to go.
Hawaiian 1045, roger. After departure, fly heading at 360, maintain 7,000, clear for takeoff.
After departure, heading 360, will maintain 7,000. Clear for takeoff, Hawaiian 1045. Alright, we will ding the flight attendants, let them know we're going, and we will get some lights on. That was the company name that made. Yeah, I've never really heard a whole lot of bad things about Tolstis, so I don't have X-Plane, never have. I've been on Flight Sim since FS4. Never really worried about anything else. But yeah, it's not organized well. It's not. I like to have my tablet on my actual tablet. I have one next to me.
Honolulu Center, good afternoon. Mahalo 8531 at
Here we go.
8.9, climbing 9,000, direct Haley.
Mahalo 8531 HF Center, hello. The Kahului altimeter
Let's-
2990. You
Set.
can expect the Island Zulu runway 2.
Way too much thrust on these things.
Expect Island Zulu runway 2,
Taking
we
off
got
like there's nothing.
2994 on the meter, Mahalo 8531.
80.
And the altimeter 2990.
Sorry, 2990, Mahalo 8531.
P1. Rotate. How's the rate? You're up.
Vista 4006 heavy, pilot's discretion, descend and maintain 16,000.
And we'll climb to the north.
The Honolulu altimeter 2990. Hawaiian 1045 HF Center, radar contact, climb and maintain 12,000, 12,000, stay altitude.
I'm gonna take 1 2 12,000, leaving 1,500 Hawaiian 1045. Flaps 1. Relatively short flight coming on Honolulu. I'm gonna go F speed, flaps up, after takeoff checklist. Go autopilot on.
Hawaiian 1045, turn left heading at 320, vector for the climb.
Say again for Hawaiian 1045.
Hawaiian 1045, turn left heading 320, vector for the climb.
Left 320, Hawaiian 1045. Gear up, flaps up, pressurization is set. And climbing normally, after takeoff check is complete. Go ahead and get the data for Honolulu. It's going to be a short flight, so we'll get the weather over there. That's in showing information. Hotel 100 at 12, 10 statute miles, few at 13, broken at 1,000, overcast 5,000, 24, 22, 2990 is what we're showing right now. Why do we think Boeing made the 777-9 cockpit? Well, I actually do know that. The 777 is a really
Hawaiian
outdated.
1045, turn left heading at 230, when able, proceed direct to the Lanai VOR, then resume the Julie 5 arrival.
Heading 230, then direct Lanai and resume their arrival. Hawaiian 1045. Hawaiian 1045 is direct to Lanai. The 777-9 cockpit is the same
Hawaiian
as
1045, say the last again.
Hawaiian 1045 is direct Lanai at this time.
Thank you.
The 777-900 cockpit's the same as the 78 because they wanted to make the 78 and the 777 a common type rating, and at least the FAA and ICAO had determined that they were far enough apart that they did require two separate type ratings. We're through 10,000. We'll get some lights off real fast. I'm gonna keep
Roger.
the fasten seatbelt sign on because it's a short flight. Thing's climbing like a bat. I've flown this before. with a heavy one just for fun. And sometimes it's hard to clear some of those mountains. We're here level at 12,000. We'll go ahead and get the weather dialed into the flight management computer down here for our arrival.
HCF Center on 118.45.
118.45 for Oscar.
Hawaiian 1045, Honolulu ATIS Hotel is current. Honolulu altimeter 2990.
2990, we have hotel Hawaiian 1045. Temperature of 24. At a magnetic of 100 at 12. And we're going to do a config 3 landing. Since we're so light, we'll go config 3 up here. And we'll do a medium brake, because generally, going to Honolulu, they want you to hold short, 8 left. And I have a tendency to float the crap out of this airplane. I'm guessing as, getting back to the cockpit, I'm guessing as the older 777s get parked or sent off to cargo operators, they're probably going to try and make that 777-900 and the 787 type ratings common, like they wanted to initially. They're very, very close. You're right. The only difference that I know of is the 777-900 has a touch screen instead of the standard screens. What do you think about 737 MAX? I have friends that fly it and they like it. The 737-800, if you're talking about the split winglet, or what they call them, the scimitar winglets, is slightly different than the Max winglet, but I don't think they're far enough off. And I think the 737 Max was a mistake. I know I have a friend that works at Boeing, and he was telling me that they didn't want to make the Max at all. They wanted to make what was going to be the 797. And it was going to be a medium range single aisle, more to replace the 75, which was aging at the time. And the two American Airlines, American and Southwest, both chimed up and said that they wanted a continuation of the 73 because they already had the aircraft, they already had the pilots for it, and the pilot training on those aircraft is a lot. So it was a big cost savings to get that pilot training married up, which ended up not really working anyway, because for Southwest, they had to retire their 737 Classics. They had 300s and 500s. At the same time, they were getting the 787 MAX 8, and they ended up having to park the MAX 8s for a short period of time while they were still had more of the Classics. I can't really disagree with you with that for Boeing, but I know that when the decision was made to continue on with the 7.3 in the form of the Max, they had to keep a certain percentage of it the same in terms of the overhead to keep it as a common type rating, and that ended up not really working anyway. I don't think the Max 8 was a good idea. I think they should have continued with the 797 idea. I know that Delta had shown interest in the 797, and they were close enough that they already had floor space planned out for the production of the 797.
Hawaiian 1045 pilot discussion descent cross Julie intersection at and maintain 10,000, 10,000.
Pulse crash across Julie at 10,000, Hawaiian 1045. Alright, we got cross Julie at 10,000. So we'll go into Julie and cross flight level 100 altitude constraint, and we'll insert that in there. I got 10,000 in the window already.
Air Canada 530.
Yeah, the 737 is the Max is very fuel efficient. So is the Neo though. When I was flying the Airbus 321, we were doing flights from LA to Orlando, and that was one of the first routes that the Neos got when we first got them. And they were saying that we were getting fuel savings of upwards of 10,000 pounds on that one route. The few times I flew the Neo, I flew it in and out of LA a couple times, out to Hawaii once or twice. But I was almost off the fleet before the Neo really became all over the place. I ended up with a lot more time in the 321 Classics and the 319s. I think I have maybe 20 flights in the 320. Are you a fan of flight sims, or do you
8531 traffic.
you fly
slow
also?
for 1 o'clock, 4 miles northwestbound, 2000 above you, and Airbus 321.
Hollow 8531, we're looking.
No, I actually don't know why they're not receiving the 350s. You know, I think they're sticking with that 787 idea, and it's really not that bad of an airplane. I think the 350 is a better long haul airplane than the 78 personally. But obviously I fly the 777, and I think the triple is probably the best one out there. It is old, the screens are old, the technology's old, but we will outlift any of the new airplanes.
Like an 8, contact HCF Center on 118.5.
For Honolulu, we will plan
Center Delta H6
for
13 south. I'm definitely looking at their correction.
yeah, for
Delta
right.
1806 Heavy HS Center, hello, climb maintain, flight level 410.
410 Delta 9.
over the domestic. Blue approach. Right. Back into performance.
Alaska 836, contact HCF Center on 118.45.
Barrel reference of 258
36.
for our DA.
Center Alaska 1534 Heavy Direct Eber.
Oh, really? It's they're not taking it because it's Rolls Royce.
Heavy HS Center,
I-
hello,
I-
climb
I had
maintain,
not
flight level
heard that.
410.
Climb
Um,
level 410 Alaska 1534 Heavy.
What do you know? What they don't like about the Rolls Royce engines? None thing I've ever flown has been Rolls Royce, mainly CFMs.
Hawaiian 1045 cross Julie intersection at 10,000, 10,000. Contact HCF approach now 118.3.
Cross Julie at 10,000 and contact 118.3 Hawaiian 1045. You have a great day. Real approach Hawaiian 1045 is out of 11,700 to cross Julie at 10.
Line 1045, good morning, HCF approach. You can expect ILS Zulu 4 right approach into Honolulu. The altimeter is 2990 and we are at Information Hotel.
All right, expect the ILS Zulu runway 4 right, and we have hotel Hawaiian 1045.
Line 1045, thanks for reporting hotel. Line 1045 after Julie, proceed direct Alana, cross Alana at 4000.
Julie direct to Lana and then cross Alana at 4,000. Hawaiian 1045. Verify Alana at 4,000 for Hawaiian 1045.
Hawaiian 1045, that's cross Alana at 4,000.
Alana at 4,000, Hawaiian 1045. Got 4 in the window. We're across Julie at 10,000. Got that in magenta. Reached the contract leading to a legal fight. That doesn't surprise me. I know that Alright, we got 10,000. We'll get the lights back on. We'll ding the flight attendants, let them know we're coming down. Send checklist altimeter 2990, auto brake. I have medium. Approach bridge page is set, arrival briefing. Will be the ILS Zulu. Like that. Reselect the Zulu. 58. Bottom. Barrows. See down the window down there. ILS Zulu 4 right is 11-2, 22nd of September 2022. 110.5, got the LS up, so we can get the LS up. 042, Pearly at 1500. Additional MDA of 258, airports 13, touchdown zones 8. Highest MSA is 4,400, or 5,300 to the northwest. We have the visibility. Get in, miles are capping left hand side. Honolulu has every button but one I want. 4 right, got 9,002 feet of bell runway. We'll exit, try and exit on Echo and hold short of 8 left. Status is checked. Go ahead and check that again. Cat 3 single. And we got the in-up items, Cat 3 dual, that's for the windshield wiper and the Gen 1. Descent checklist is complete. Why do I think the 330-800 is getting low orders? You know, I don't know. I know that Delta loves the 900s. And when I had a few friends that flew the 330-2 and 3, and they loved it. And they came from the 319, 320 to the 21 series to the 330. It was an incredibly easy transition. Great airplane.
Hawaiian 1045, continued descent to 3,000. Joined the Honolulu ARC out of Lana. Cleared ILS Zulu 4 right approach. Report unestablished.
Alright, down to 3,000, join the ARC, and we'll report established, Hawaiian 1045. I know that I know Hawaiian wanted the 800s for a long time. But they ended up with the 787s, which, when they were purchased by... Hold on, 1 second. When they were purchased by Alaska, those aircraft went up to Alaska, and I've seen them before actually, out flying about.
Hawaiian 110 heavy, looking for clearance to Hilo.
Hawaiian 10 Heavy, good morning. HCF reports clearance on request done by PDC.
Roger, thank you, and good morning.
Why do I think the 220? I don't know. I don't know that much about the 220s at all.
Yeah, 1141 Heavy,
I
runway
have a
8
friend
right,
that
clear
flies
for
them,
takeoff, heading 155.
but I don't know anything about them at all.
Runway 8 right, take off.
I'll even have to look up what that was. I'm not familiar with that. I know that I was in Barcelona a couple weeks ago, and there was a Lufthansa A321 that ended up having an engine fire or something. I never looked into the rest of what exactly was going in with it, but it's one of those interesting things. Fire broke out during routine auxiliary power unit. That doesn't surprise me at all. I've definitely had weird stuff happen after maintenance has got a hold of it. But not good or bad, just you really have to check what's everything that's going on with your aircraft after maintenance touches it. I don't know how much you know about the Air France. I think it was a 330 crash that happened off the coast of South America, and that wasn't a maintenance issue. They were doing a pedostatic test, and they left some tape.
1141 radar contact 1100, climb and maintain 16,000.
United 1141 Heavy 16,000.
I'll have to look into that. Do you know who the carrier was for the A220? Oh, I've seen Air Baltic 220s. Where have I seen them before? Maybe Rome. Did they take the 220s?
1141 heavy, turn left
into
090, vector for climb.
They take the 220s into Heathrow?
United 1141.
Flaps 1. E checks. Yeah, I've never been into Gatwick before, but I've seen Air Baltic. I just don't know. Oaks captured. And missed a 3,000 set. Another approach line 1045 is established on the ILS 4 right.
Line 1045, tank reporting established, runway 4 right, clear to land as he winds 110F12.
Runway 4, clear to land, Hawaiian 1045. We are clear to land. 89,000 for an ATPL. Ours is, I'm guessing you're overseas. Or across the pond on the European side. Ours is a lot different. 89,000 for an 8. That's if you already have your other ratings, that seems really high.
1141 heavy, proceed direct APAC on course.
You're down.
Okay, let's
Traffic,
turn direct
traffic.
APAC.
2500.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's coming right at me, isn't he? Two.
$2,000.
With no experience, actually, that's pretty good then, at least for our side of the pond. Flaps 3. I think all told, I probably spent, I'm guessing about $150,000 on everything, but that's with a university degree also, so it might be a little bit different. Flaps, oh, we're flaps 3. We're flaps 3 landing. Altimeter is 2990, engine mode is normal. Landing gear down 3 green, ECAM landing no blue. Core landing check is complete. Looks like we got a little bit of ground speed mini.
At 1141, contact HCF Center, 126.5.
There's the runway.
Some traffic. Have a great day. Aloha.
126.5, United 1141.
I think ours also works a little bit differently because the 151, that's really fast. Switch that down to 145. Yeah, for some of those degree programs,
500.
not really sure. 500, autopilot's coming off. I know that the airline that I fly for has one of
100
those
above.
flight schools also, and it is very
300.
competitive to get into. And even when you do, I don't know how Air Baltic
Minimum.
does it, even when you get into the programs, you're not guaranteed a job.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10.
This thing floats like crazy.
5.
I get on the brakes. 2 reverse.
Auto brake off.
Flight 1045, welcome to Honolulu, exit left when able.
Exit left when able, Hawaiian 1035. Hawaiian 1045 is up on Kilo.
Flight 1045, thank you for that. Where are you parking today?
Park in the domestic terminal.
Flight 1045, roger that. Cross 4 left and 8 left on Kilo. Left on Alpha, right on Gulf to your gate.
Right, Kilo, cross 4 left, 8 left. Left, Kilo, then I think it said Zulu, right on Gulf to the terminal, Hawaiian 1045.
On 1045, so it's going to be actually the next left on Alpha, and then right on Gulf to the terminal.
Alpha, right on Gulf to the terminal in Hawaiian 1045. Flaps
Thank
up
you.
after takeoff checklist.
Hawaiian 110 Heavy, what runway are we using today for departure?
Flying 110 Heavy, good morning, HCF approach. Information Hotel is currently Honolulu.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't have any wind shear on that one. Also because the go-around procedure for right is a tight right turn to try and stay inside of the was it Waikiki? All right, we'll see how this works. We'll go. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I can. I will go hop on. go single engine, left side's off since that IDG is off anyway. I don't have to. Yeah, I was planning an Echo, but again, I floated the crap out of this airplane again. I don't like how it performs when it lands. I don't think it sits like a real Airbus does. So far, between the two of them, I think the Phoenix aircraft is a much better programmed airplane. Although the FsLabs, I do like having the MELs and having to work through book and have it does add a little more complexity. No, I definitely don't think that ending the 7.5 production was a good idea at all. It was a massively popular airplane for both pilots and airlines. It could lift anything. It could stop short. It could fly into high altitude airports. It really was the kind of do everything airplane that airlines wanted. Lots of coordinates. Alpha 14. It is. After landing checks is complete. Let's see. Yeah, do you play, are you on Xbox or are you on PC? Firmware set. Feeds. APU on. Shut down. Oh, if you're on Xbox, yeah, that's got to be rough. I have it on Xbox also. This is obviously not on Xbox. Well, I don't know if obviously or not. I don't know if you can see. I think a lot of the add-ons I have don't show up on the marketplace. But let's open the door. Say goodbye to our beautiful people. We will come up here and turn some packs. There's pumps off. Beacon off. Seatbelt sign off. Touchdown check, parking brake on, checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake is disarmed. Radars are off. Windshield PWS, that is still on. Off. Fuel pumps are off. Slides are disarmed. APU is on. Shutdown checks are complete. So yeah, the Xbox where I was getting back at, I really don't like. It seems I have it on the Xbox S. I got it for my son. He enjoys it. It's fun to play with a controller a little bit, but in terms of simulating anything, it's more of a game. And I've had really bad luck purchasing anything on the marketplace. I purchased some random stuff on the marketplace early on, thinking it was given a chance to have everything in one place and get some of my add-ons where it was easier to keep track of. And what I ended up doing is in the marketplace they don't update them fast enough. They don't. There's stuff that ends up being old faster. But my advice to everybody, and it doesn't obviously doesn't really work for you on Xbox, is if you can avoid buying anything from the marketplace, I say avoid it, because it's terrible. Yeah, I think I have the premium deluxe also. The only thing, I'm one step shy of the aviator package, but honestly, I don't fly any of the aircraft that come standard with Flight Sim. And I covered this in one of my videos earlier, that I do think that a lot of the standard default aircraft that come with Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, are great airplanes. They're worlds better than anything you can get on FSX. I think the Asobo 737 MAX 8 is up there with early PMDG stuff. So it's not a knock on any of that. I just like what I like, and Phoenix is a fantastic airplane. PMDG 777, being a 777 pilot, I can say it's really close, but it's not exactly there. I gotta step off for a second. In terms of when I'll be streaming again, I've got a really weird schedule when it comes to streaming. It's going to be kind of really sporadic when I have days off, or I'm going to try and do a couple times a month, but it's going to be random airplanes. I'd love to do a stream of a triple for a long haul, but I really don't have that much time where I could really dedicate a lot of time to it. But I try and give a couple hours notice on mine if you want to subscribe to my channel, if you haven't already. It'll be, and it's almost always during the weekdays, just because I being an older pilot, I do have kids, and the weekends are dedicated to them. But I appreciate you having me here, and I was gonna go to Lahui, but I gotta do some stuff with my son. So I've appreciated you having me on board, and I love sitting here chat with you, and hope we can do it again sometime. Well, thank you for the subscription, and I hope to see you again on another live stream. You have a great day.